Well, welcome back to the hot seat. I'm delighted today to be joined by Thomas Fritz from Bellecapital in Zurich. Today we're meeting at the Beau Rivage in Geneva. Welcome, Thomas.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me here today.
So looking forward to seeing you at our networking dinner tonight. You've recently joined PCD.
Correct.
So for PCD members who haven't met you before or unfamiliar with Bellecapital, why don't we explain a little bit more about your background and what Bellecapital does as well?
Thank you, David. So I have been working in the investment industry for the last 15 years. In my earlier career, I was working for some of the larger Swiss banks and have been always focusing on a very special niche type of business, namely providing investment management and cross-border wealth management services to US taxpayers, either domiciled in the United States or somewhere else in the world.
Okay, what's the angle at the moment for US investors using Switzerland? What kind of cases do you see coming across your desk? What kind of clients do you work with?
Let me structure my clients or the clients I work together with in three groups. I would say we have a lot of Europeans that live in the United States and they don't want to give up a financial center in Europe, actually. That's the first group, which I think is a very popular client group that we have. Number two are clients who combine structuring with an offshore account in Switzerland for the sake of diversification of the jurisdiction. Clients want to hedge against political risk, for example, in the United States. That's also a good group of clients that we serve. And the group of number three that we serve are clients which actively seek to diversify their wealth outside of the US in terms of investments, currencies, and investment manager style.
And on that style point, I mean, do you think that the Swiss way of managing money is different to perhaps the UK, the US? Is that part of the appeal to clients to find a different way of managing their wealth?
Yes, I think it is. Compared to the United States, where we see investment managers having a large bias towards the US and the US dollar, considering it's the largest capital market in the world, we as a Swiss-based investment management firm, being in the center of Europe, have a way more global view on asset management and are basically agnostic in terms of the markets where we try to seek for value for our clients, where we allocate capital to. Obviously, as we are in the heart of Europe, we consider ourselves to have an edge in managing European investments as well, right?
So what are some of the key markets in Europe that the analysts at Bellecapital tend to cover? Where do you see hotspots of value at the moment?
We like those markets where we see a very high quality universe of companies, which is traditionally in the German-speaking markets, such as Switzerland and Germany. However, we also find a good value in Northern European countries, right, such as Norway, Sweden.
And do you see also the traditional arguments for investors holding Swiss francs, holding gold, coming to you for the sort of things they associate with a Swiss style of wealth preservation?
Absolutely. I would say the Swiss franc and gold is a story that is never getting old. So I think that a lot of Americans consider the Swiss franc as a great diversification currency to hedge versus a US dollar devaluation.
What's the outlook on the currency? Is it due to maintain its value? I mean, what do analysts predict in terms of the future path of the currency versus others?
From a fundamental point of view, I would say that the US dollar still remains overvalued, right? Especially considering that we still have an interest rate differential between the United States, Europe, as well as Switzerland. I'm sure you're aware of the ongoing debate in the United States regarding raising the debt ceiling, which is obviously not a very supporting argument for a strong US dollar. So having said that, on the very long term, we consider the US dollar still to be on a depreciating path.
And what's your take on gold and the attractiveness to hold gold in Switzerland today?
Very good question, David. So I think gold should not be missed in any portfolio because it's an asset that is not perfectly correlated with other asset classes. We have seen this in the past many times. I think gold is an asset class that performs especially well in times of market distress and fear, as we see, for example, these days, right? The gold price is close to its all-time high because of factors such as the ongoing turmoil with US banks, for example, right? Switzerland has very sophisticated capabilities for clients who hold gold, right? In comparison to the United States, where a typical high net worth client will invest in a gold ETF, which seems to be backed physically by gold. However, it is obviously a security the client is holding, right? On the other hand, Swiss banks, for comparison, offer the capability to hold physical gold on behalf of their clients. So it's booked on the asset statement, but the gold is effectively held in custody at the bank, right? Which creates more peace of mind and more security for the clients.
And do you also have clients who become resident here, who move here, you might have a relationship with while they're non-resident and they actually start spending some time in Switzerland and want to come and move here?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are strong ties between the United States and Switzerland, and I see a good amount of clients that spend their holidays in Switzerland or have holiday homes here. So yes, absolutely. I mean, as you know, it's rather difficult for a non-European person to settle down in Switzerland. Yeah. However, for clients who are seeking to spend their holidays and have a holiday home over here, that's actually a good opportunity in Switzerland, I would say.
And I imagine you work closely with intermediaries dealing with international clients, so whether that's trustees in Switzerland or abroad, or legal and tax advisors. What kind of intermediaries do you tend to find you work with?
We work together with international trust and estate practitioners, international tax specialists, as well as trustees who are specialized in dealing in structures where we have a US grantor or US beneficiaries involved.
Okay, fantastic. And you're based in Zurich, and just down the road you have the Silicon Valley, you have Zug, you have all of that expertise around crypto. I mean, how do you see that in terms of wealth creation, in terms of clients coming to you with crypto and digital assets? I mean, what's your outlook on the crypto and digital side?
As I think crypto is a very interesting space to discuss, David. On the one hand, I first have to say that we as a traditional asset management firm still shy away to invest in crypto because we don't see any intrinsic value in these currencies. It's not for us possible to price crypto as an asset. However, I think crypto became so big that it's valid and important to discuss it as an asset class, right? Especially the well-known crypto names such as Ethereum or Bitcoins. What I can tell from experience is that I see a good amount of demand from American crypto investors who over the last couple of years and the last crypto bull run have amassed a good fortune and are now considering to bring their crypto assets offshore to Switzerland because they are intrigued by the idea to keep it either in hot or cold storage with a Swiss bank instead of keeping it in the United States. As of
today, do you think it's created new clients for the wealth sector then, in that some have taken some cash off the table in order to actually diversify and go for more traditional investments, or is it still actually those people who believe are still long crypto, so their wealth is still tied up in these assets?
That's an interesting question too. I think on the one hand, it could create in the future opportunities for asset managers such as we are. However, I have to say as well, according to my experience, the crypto offering in Switzerland is rather limited. So you have just a few Swiss banks and players in the market who offer custody of crypto assets. In addition, as you might know, it's always rather complicated to find a bank who deals with US taxpayers these days in Switzerland. So as of today, I'm not aware of any Swiss bank that provides crypto custody capabilities for US clients. Nevertheless, going forward, indeed, a huge opportunity, I assume, to help those clients also to diversify their mostly very concentrated crypto positions into other asset classes.
So it's still early days, but it's an emerging one to watch closely, I would say.
Absolutely, yes.
And you're coming along to the dinner tonight. We've got 140 guests here at the Beau Rivage. Are you looking forward to mixing and mingling with some of the intermediaries that are gathered here tonight?
Absolutely. I'm really thrilled. It's my first PCD dinner here in Geneva, so also excited to join and cannot wait to network with people from the industry and get to know more people. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, thank you for talking to me today, Thomas, and we look forward to sharing this interview.
Thank you.